Hello everyone, this is Anyman, reminding you that you have the power. You'll have to excuse my voice, I'm a little sick right now. Today, to help you learn how to use that power wisely and to use it well, we bring you, from Clint Emerson, 100 Deadly Skills, the SEAL Operative's Guide to Eluding Pursuers, Evading Capture, and Surviving Any Dangerous Situation. Written by retired Navy SEAL Clint Emerson, illustrations by Ted Slampiak. Contents: a note to readers, epigraph, introduction. Part 1, Mission Prep. Skills 001 through 010. Anatomy of a violent nomad, creating an everyday carry kit, building a vehicle bolt bag, make a concealable compass, build an improvised concealable holster, conceal escape tools, construct a rectal concealment, use improvised body armor, identify emergency ballistic shields, the violent nomad workout. Part 2, Infiltration. Skills 011 through 017. Cross enemy borders by sea, cross enemy borders by air, cross enemy borders by land, conceal gear using caches, hook and climb a target structure, scale a high wall, blend into any environment. Part 3, Infrastructure Development. Skills numbers 018 to 033. Hotel Security and Safety Awareness. Prevent a hotel room invasion. Conceal belongings within lodging. Build a room hide. Steal a vehicle. Operational vehicle prep. Escape and evasion vehicle prep. Build a vehicle hide. Steal a plane. Make a water bottle silencer. Transform an umbrella into a lead pipe. Turn a pen into a weapon. Use a fishing weight as an improvised sap. Make a flexible chain weapon. Make a newspaper nail bat. Deploy a roll of coins. Part 4, Surveillance. Skills numbers 034 to 042. Dismounted surveillance. Mobile surveillance. Make an improvised infrared light. Make a tracking device for night surveillance. Detect tampering of personal effects. Determine surveillance. Discreetly lose surveillance. Detect tracking devices. Deceive surveillance cameras. Part 5, Access. Skills number 043 to 053. Create improvised lock-picking tools. Pick a lock, clam a key, clone a key, impression a lock, bypass a hotel room door, surreptitiously unlatch door locks, defeat a padlock, covertly access locked luggage, open a car door with a piece of string, discreetly open garage doors. Part 6, Collection. Skills number 054 to 060. Install an audio device. Turn a speaker into a microphone. Construct and install a pinhole cable. Make homemade plastic. Send anonymous emails. Hide information in plain sight. Hide and extract data using everyday photos. Part 7, Operational Actions. Skills 061 to 076. Draw a concealed pistol. Shoot from a vehicle. Win a knife fight. Strike for a knockout. Deliver a devastating elbow strike. Make an improvised taser. Make an improvised explosive device. Make a diversionary flash device. Make a Molotov cocktail. Pit a target vehicle. Pistol disarmament, pointed at chest. Pistol disarmament, pointed at back. Survive an active shooter. Make an improvised gas mask. Survive a grenade attack. Wage psychological warfare. Part 8. Sanitization. Skills number 077 to 085. Leave 0 DNA behind. Leave 0 fingerprints behind. Leave 0 digital trace behind. Trick facial recognition software. Trick fingerprint scanning software. Create a hasty disguise. Get past a guard dog. Discreetly clear a flooded scuba mask. Dispose of a body. Part 9. Exfiltration and escape. Skills number 086 to 100. Create a rappelling harness. Escape a multi-story building. Survive a drowning attempt. Escape from an automobile trunk. Develop a bug-out routine. Perform a J-turn. Perform a reverse 180. Survive vehicular impact. Break through a 2-car block. Escape an ambush. Set up proper posture for escape. Reposition restrained hands. Defeat handcuffs. Defeat zip ties. Defeat duct tape. The final bluff. Acknowledgements. 100 Deadly Skills Survival Edition excerpt. About the author. Glossary. Resources and references. Index. A note to readers. The skills described in the following pages are called deadly for a reason, and not just because of the danger they pose to others. Developed by highly trained operatives who regularly face life-threatening conditions, these skills push the limits of human endurance, precision, and ingenuity, and often the boundaries of the law. The book you are holding in your hands or reading on your device contains actionable information adopted from the world of special operations. Much of that information, shared here with civilians in the spirit of self-defense, is to be used in only the direst emergencies. When confronted with unexpected danger, in many cases, the safest course of action is escape. In the face of an active shooter, see page 178, the first option, if conditions allow, is to run, and the last is to fight. If a thief wants your valuables, hand them over. If the end of the world truly does come to pass, well then, all bets are off. The author and publisher disclaim any liability from any injury that may result from the use, proper or improper, of the information contained in this book. I'd like to add also that all of this goes for the narrator as well. The stated goal of this book is not to enable a deadly class of citizens, but to entertain while simultaneously imparting a body of knowledge that may come in handy in the absolute direst of emergencies. Be deadly in spirit, but not in action. Respect the rights of others and the laws of the land. And if I may, this extends to the sentiments of the narrator. A quote from Bear Grylls. Our fate is determined by how far we are prepared to push ourselves to stay alive, the decisions we make to survive. We must do whatever it takes to endure and make it through alive. Introduction. Potential dangers lurk everywhere these days. Disasters strike in war-torn regions and far-flung locations, but with alarming regularity, they also seem to inch closer and closer to home. Spanning acts of terror, mass shootings, and the unseen and sometimes virtual matrix of everyday crime, danger refuses to be confined to dark alleys, unstable nations, or distant zip codes. People tend to imagine worst-case scenarios in highly colorful terms, but chaos and crime are the real apocalyptic scenarios. We picture aliens, frozen tundra, and intergalactic warfare, when in fact the catastrophic events we've been waiting for are more likely to look like a mundane report of vandalism on last night's news, or the massive internet shutdown in tomorrow's headlines, or indeed the violent criminal hiding in the shadows of a desolate parking garage. In the face of true catastrophe, a basement full of canned peas and distilled water isn't likely to be much help. In a future where every stranger poses a potential threat, knowing the predator mindset is the only safe haven. What are the tricks used by the stealthiest, most dangerous human beings in our midst? How can you spot and avoid the dangers that surround us? You could turn to the criminal class to find out. Or you could go one better by taking a page from some of the most highly trained specialists on the planet. The 100 deadly skills you are about to encounter are adapted from the world of special operations, a complex web of associations dominated by operatives with a shared predilection for intrigue and danger. These elite, highly skilled warriors are charged with risking their lives under the most challenging and dire conditions on Earth. As operatives who routinely infiltrate the world's most dangerous and volatile regions, they must be equal parts spies, soldiers, and lawless rule breakers. They are action heroes from modern times, one part James Bond, the other Rambo. Some call these highly skilled operatives violent nomads, as a nod to their disregard for the international borders and their bias for swift, brutal action. Many of these techniques that make up the violent nomad body of knowledge cannot be divulged without severe risk to public safety, but a great deal of potentially life-saving information can still be shared. Each skill is broken down into its most critical parts, or courses of action, COAs, and summed up by a BLUF, bottom line up front, which spells out the key takeaway from the operative's perspective. Civilian bluffs flip the skills around and outline preventative measures civilians can take to arm themselves against predators using these particular techniques. As a retired Navy SEAL who spent several years inside the N.S.A., the National Security Agency, in writing this book I drew on an unusual breadth of experience that spans 20 years spent running special ops all over the world, both in teams and alone, and merges lessons learned from both combat and surveillance. The skills in this book represent a potential path to survival in the face of any number of dangerous situations, from eluding pursuers and escaping abduction to self-defense, and they may even provide a blueprint for getting through doomsday. The world isn't getting any safer, but you can be prepared. Whether you're faced with an alien invasion, or an assailant wielding a seemingly innocuous item such as a water bottle or an umbrella, learning how to think like a violent nomad will radically improve your chances of coming out on top. Footnote 1. Turn to page 70 if you're interested in developing an irrational fear of water bottles. Part 1. Mission Prep. Skill number 001. Anatomy of a Violent Nomad. Beyond the defensive potential common to many of the skills in this book, there is much the average civilian can learn from an operative's mindset. First and foremost, that mindset is defined by preparedness and awareness. Whether in home territory or under deepest cover, operatives are continually scanning this general landscape for threats even when they're not on the clock. Civilians, too, can train their minds toward habits such as scouting exit routes in crowded restaurants or building spur-of-the-moment escape plans. This kind of vigilance allows an operative confronted with sudden danger to take immediate action. Whether he's crossing borders, executing surveillance, or eliminating dangerous targets and disappearing without a trace, the clandestine operative frequently works alone. Given that he so often finds himself behind enemy lines without reinforcements, an operative's combat and counterintelligence skills are met by an equally sophisticated aptitude for risk assessment and analysis. In an increasingly dangerous world, civilians who are attuned to potential risk, particularly but not exclusively when traveling, will be many steps ahead of the general populace. The operative also demonstrates a baseline predisposition toward anonymity. Each clandestine operative is trained to go black, operating for extended periods of time with limited communication to associates. While operating under the radar, he may assume the outward appearance of a student, a business person, or a traveler, as he understands that terrorist groups or host nation governments may be targeting him during his travels, and that if perceived as a spy and arrested, he will be subject to detention and harsh interrogations. Additionally, as a traveler, he is vulnerable to the risks of petty crime and kidnapping that apply to any civilian traveling abroad. To counter such risks, the operative adopts as neutral an appearance as possible. The general rule is the less conspicuous the nomad, the safer. Due to the highly covert nature of their missions, operatives go to great lengths to ensure that they blend into their surroundings. A carefully managed appearance allows them to operate undetected by potential witnesses as well as host country police and security services. But beyond their unremarkability, clothing and gear must have the capability to conceal the equipment required for an operation or an escape. The waistband and cuffs of pants and the tongues of shoes, for example, are ideal hiding places for handcuff keys and razor blades. Operatives favor brands such as Panerai, which are durable and made, but still have a civilian-friendly look. Always ready to run or fight, they wear closed-toe shoes with Kevlar laces and conceal weapons and spread escape equipment throughout their clothing. Lighters and cigarettes are always carried, even by non-smokers, as they may be used as a tool of escape or a distraction or diversion. See pages 86, 166, and 168. LED flashlights are essential for seeing in the dark or signaling for help. When it comes to gear, preparedness doesn't look quite the way moviegoers have come to expect, but because clandestine operatives cannot board commercial flights with concealed weapons or high-tech spy gear tucked away in their luggage, they favor a no-tech or low-tech approach that is highly dependent on improvisation. Though fictional spies employ all manner of shiny, complex contraptions, in the real world every high-tech toy increases an operative's risk of detention or arrest. Hence, operatives learn to adapt, improvise, and overcome technical obstacles using tools and technology that are readily available in the country of operation. One example, every hotel room has a Bible or a Quran stashed in a bedside drawer, and taping a couple of these together yields a set of improvised body armor that provides significant protection against projectiles. Though low-tech doesn't usually extend to an operative's communications, he takes a highly cautious approach to cybersecurity. The operative avoids leaving behind trails of digital breadcrumbs at all costs, understanding that any cyber communication is fundamentally insecure. In an age where savings accounts and the locations of friends and family are vulnerable to any third party with access to a Wi-Fi connection and the will to do harm, there is no such thing as a surefit of precaution. Civilian bottom line up front. Particularly when traveling, civilians are well served by adopting the operative's predilection for anonymity. Choose clothing and accessories for usefulness and general neutrality. In a volatile urban crisis, bright colors and eye-catching logos can become convenient aiming points for a pair of rifle sights. Number 001 Pictograph, Anatomy of a Violent Nomad. CONOP, Concept of Operations. Conceal tools of survival and escape in order to decrease exposure to threats. From the rear. On the left wrist, a Panerai watch. Slung over the left shoulder, an operational bag. In the right back hip, a SIG P239 pistol in the waistband. Directly in the back, a razor blade in the waistband of the pants. From the front, a Thunderwear concealed P290 pistol. It's a type of holster that fits into the front of your pants. On the left-hand side, a handcuffed key in the waistband. In the left-hand pocket, a Microtech knife. In the right-hand side, a handcuff key in the trouser hem. A razor blade in the tongue of the shoe. Kevlar shoelaces, and a cloth escape map slid beneath the insole of the shoe. In the left-hand side, a microcompass in the tongue of the shoe. Bottom line up front, blend in, but always carry a gun and cash. What can't be purchased with one can be procured with the other. And that has been the forward introduction disclaimer and first skill of 100 Deadly Skills. This has been Anyman, narrating the book, reminding you that you have and you are the power. Use it wisely and use it well.